to all. Good morning, happy Monday. Daniel.
Hi, teacher. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, sir. Good morning, all. We begin today on this Monday, working directly. Hope you had a well weekend. Okay, it's time to work with the next aspects that we have to see. I hope all of you all loaded the right homeworks that I asked you last week. The one which were about practicing a little bit the process of taking exam, and we will continue that later, maybe on next week or maybe on the other week, next and the next week. Today we have a couple of topics that we have to see in order to improve your communication, in order to improve your speech skills, and we will begin then with so. Let's get first with the attendance, as always. So let's see if he's Dulce Maria here.
Present.
Okay, Judith Banda.
Present.
Areli.
Here.
Hugo Alonso.
Present.
Ernesto Campa. No.
Here, teacher.
Cesar Isaí. No. Miguel Iván Carvajal. Anaí. Milagros.
Present.
Fabián.
Here.
Abril. Okay, Dulce.
Present.
Daniela.
Present.
Grisa.
Present.
Michelle.
Present.
Leslie.
Here.
Alberto.
Present.
Jesús. Roberto.
Here.
Alan.
Present.
Saraí.
Here.
Airam. Mariela.
Present.
Lisette.
Present.
Alicia.
Present.
Ana Karen.
Here.
Hugo. Daniel.
Here, teacher. Here.
Janet. Benjamín.
And
And Ulises. Good. Okay. The first topic that we are going to analyze today is related with a material that you already have on your Moodle, which is called Connectors and Useful Expressions. I will ask you to open it and have it in there because I'm not going to show you presentation on my computer. So tell me when you have it on your screen, when it's able to you. You got it?
yes, teacher.
Right. So we begin with this, which is called connectors and useful expressions, or in other words, in the grammar words, the word by which we identify this is the conjunctions. So conjunctions is the right way to identify it in grammar these days. So it says, let's read a little bit about it. It says, what are connectors? Connectors are local conjunctions, this is the most important because in any exam, in any question that I will ask you, I will refer to connectors with the word of conjunctions, not with connectors. Connectors is just for identifying it when you are learning it, but not the general one. Are words or expressions which we use to establish different types of relationships between words of sentences. When we use connectors appropriately, we organize that we say in a more logical and understandable way. So for understanding the connectors first, which you already must know, you have to understand what are the grammar structures of a sentence. So a sentence is divided into two sections. Well, technically not. Technically, a sentence can have two of these sections or can have just one. And the name of these sections are the clauses. Okay? Right. So what is a clause? Technically, a clause, okay, I'm rewriting because as I'm telling you, I'm not going to show today a screen. I'm not going to show a whiteboard. So take attendance and please ask me if you don't understand something. So the clause can be taken as a minimum part of a sentence, and the minimum part can vary depending on what kind of structure we are using. Now, for example, we have a declarative sentence, which a declarative is saying something in a normal way. That's to declare. That is from the word is declarative. So the declarative is the most normal sentence, but also we have the imperative, which imperative is an order. And the imperative is a way by which we communicate orders, but this kind of sentence have a different structure. These sentences don't have a subject. They are just given by the verb by the action, directly by the action. Exactly as we say it in Spanish. Okay. The single difference is that in Spanish we add the verb. We add to the verb the person, and in English not. In English we just have to say the verb in imperative form. Well, not in imperative, in second person form. And that is it. Okay. So getting back to a clause is the minimum part of a sentence. That means a minimum part of a message. The minimum part. What you need to say to be understood in certain way. For example, I will say, Alicia is so cool today. Or well, I don't know if you are cool or not, but Alicia is, I don't know, whatever, is sleepy today, right? So in that way, I'm using the minimum part of a sentence because I'm declaring something simple and just that. Okay? So how can we define a clause? Yes, the minimum part. But in a structural way, a clause can be a subject and a verb. A subject and a verb and a complement. A verb and a complement. Auxiliary, verb, and complement. And all of those. Until we hit no conjunction, that sentence is going to be considered a clause. Okay? There's also another way that you have to understand, and it's this statement. All clauses are sentences, but no, all sentences are clauses. You have that on chat? And be careful because that statement will be in exam or will be in any question that I will ask you. Okay? So what does that statement means? What that statement wants to communicate in this case? What do you think that statement wants to communicate? Nothing? Okay. It says, all clauses are sentences, but not all sentences are clauses. Okay. So that means that a clause is a sentence directly. But a sentence is not necessarily a clause. Why? Because a sentence can be compound sentence, can be complex sentence, okay, or can be simple sentence. Obviously, a simple sentence will be a clause, but not a compound one or a complex one. Those have different structure for it. So for understanding the connectors, you have to first understand what is a clause. So let's see first. We have different types of connectors. Have that in mind. Have that the topic about the clauses in mind. We got different types of connectors. How many types we have there?
Eight.
Technically, there are 8 types of connectors directly, or conjunctions, the other word. Okay, we got the first, contrast. Second one, addition. Third one, example. Fourth one, sequence or time. Fifth one, time. Sixth one, propose. Seventh one, result. And eighth one, cause. Okay, so no, not all the conjunctions will work for exactly the same. Depends on the nature of the sentence previously said, the conjunction that you are going to use, and depending on your different clauses. Now, a conjunction is going to unify or is going to match 2 clauses. For using a connector, you by force, mandatory, you need 2 clauses. If you don't have 2 clauses, that is not going to work. You cannot add a conjunction if you don't have you just have 1 clause. So the next statement is the conjunctions works only when you have more, well, 2 or more clauses. Because that's what it is going to work with. And you may know some of this. Let's get a review on them. Number 1, we're gonna play with a contrast one. But, although, in spite of, however, nevertheless, nonetheless, then you have the translation in Spanish also there. On the other hand, by contrast, on the one hand, on the other hand, which is technically the same, but same first part. In contrast to, as opposed to, on the contrary, alternatively, instead of, the former, and conversely. So what do we mean with contrast? That the type of the conjunctions tells you what is the nature of your sentences, of your clauses that you are going to match. So what means that when it is contrast? What it tells you when it says contrast conjunction? What is it for?
We could be it could be used when we are making comparisons or something like that to contrast one thing for another or one situation for another situation.
You're telling me comparing, and yes, we can compare, but also many other types of conjunctions can be used for comparing. This is not exactly comparing. What the word contrast tells you? What is contrast? In a simple way.
When you have 2 different clauses with opposite meanings or opposite topics.
Exactly, opposite meanings, right? Or opposite senses. An opposite sense means that it's different than the first sentence that you said. So, tell me with the senses of this, okay? I am happy. Last week I was sad. So what is the contrast in there? There's a clear contrast in there.
Emotion.
The emotion, exactly. Right? So I'm contrasting emotions there. Right? That's it. That's why, in this way, the best conjunction that I can use is a contrast one, because I'm contrasting one emotion with another emotion that is today's emotion. So, for example, I'm happy, although last week I was sad. And there's a meaning of what that word means. I am happy, period. On the other hand, last week I was pretty sad. That's another one. So the conjunction is contrasting my two ideas that I'm saying, right? That's the first one. Now let's get with addition. Now, what the word addition is going to tell us in this way?
To add information or to complement the first sentence or
Exactly.
a statement. Yes.
Exactly. So the first way, what you say, okay. The second thing that you say, the second thing that you say adds in the same sense information to the first sentence. It's not different. In the contrast, both are contraries, but in this one, both are the same sense, the same energy, the same whatever. So in this case, if I say, I am happy, last week I was sad, can I use an addition? No, because two ideas are different. They are expressing different emotions. So for using an addition conjunction, I have to make that both emotions are the same or pretty similar. For example, I am happy. As well as last week, I was, okay, full of joy, for example. And that's it. So both sentences must be positive or negative, the both in that way, right? For example, I am pretty sad. Also, I feel stressed. So you're setting sad and stressed. Both are negative actions, negative emotions or feelings, right? So they complement. In that way, they complement. The contrast, contraries. The addition complements the other one, the other clause. But remember that for using each one of these, you need to have clauses, two clauses, right? Okay. So on the next one, I want you to use, or well, to do, is that on a Word document, I want you to make a mind map, okay? Dividing the different situation by which you can explain how you can apply each of these. When to apply contrast, when to apply addition, when to apply example, when to apply sequence, when to apply time, proposed result, cause. All explain it in a map mind. Again, a map mind created in Word. No, sorry, not in Word. I want you to create it on Excel, on the activity part of Excel. Okay, on the activity part on your book or of your digital notebook. Yes? Okay, so that's it. A map mind, okay, a map mind or a graph, whatever that helps you to identify them and when to use them. Okay, as you can understand it, I don't care. I really don't care for that, right? Okay, please do it quickly. I really don't care if it's so beautiful or not. Just do it, right? I really don't care if you use the same color, the same font, whatever. Just do it. You will have 25 minutes to do it. 25 minutes, right? So in 25 minutes, we see again. Yeah, to check it. I will ask you to show well, not your presentation, but to present that work that I'm asking you. Okay? Is that clear or not clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Perfect. Okay, so I will end with this session, and when we get back, I will open one. This is working class, and this counts as participation. Okay, so I will, at 12:55, I will give you a new link in order to get in. right? Okay. Right. No questions, right?
Okay.
Okay, perfect. See you later then. See you in a moment.